You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
കണ്ണാലെ പേസി പേസി കൊല്ലാതെ കാതാലെ കേട്ട് കേട്ട് ചൊല്ലാതെ காதல் தெய்வீக ராணி போதை உண்டாகுதே நீ கண்ணே என் மனதை விட்டு துள்ளாதே கண்ணாலே பேசி பேசி கொல்லாதே. அண்ணா 2 plate idli. What dosas will you have? அண்ணா தோசை என்ன இருக்கு? What dosas are there?
Plain dosa, pepper roast, ghee roast, masala dosa, special masala, Mysore masala, podi dosa, kara dosa, andhra dosa, kali dosa, chutney dosa, rava masala dosa, uttapam, tomato uttapam, onion uttapam, mixed veg uttapam.
I'll have a Mysore masala dosa. What will you have?
Anna, could you repeat the menu again, please?
Plain dosa, pepper roast, ghee roast, masala dosa,
special masala, Mysore masala, podi dosa, kara dosa, andhra dosa, kali dosa, chutney dosa, rava masala dosa, uttapam, tomato uttapam, onion uttapam, mixed veg uttapam.
I'll have a plain dosha.
Welcome to a crispy, fragrant and flavourful episode of Southern Slurp. One that's properly Tamil, and I'm talking Sangam era 2000-year-old recipe, but is also definitely global. What goes around comes around, but with the dosa, the batter goes round and round the hot plate, and no matter who you are, you'll definitely come around to its taste, texture, and the almost ritualistic accompaniments. Before we dig in, we have a full-blown menu of delectable episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Awaz, JioSaavn, or wherever you get your podcasts from. This episode is going to make you hungry, and now you know where to go. The people of the world can be divided into 2 categories. Those who love the soft, thick dosa, and those who will give their all for that perfect, crisp, absolutely circular disc that crumbles at your touch. Which tastes better? Well, that's no question at all, since it depends entirely on one's personality, memories, and nostalgia. The right question is, which came first? Before we attempt to answer that, allow me to indulge you with the recipe for that perfect crisp dosa.
Perfect dosa has to be round and crispy and with a little bit of either ghee or til oil.
Asha Lata, my neighbor and good friend, is an expert in tamarind rice and in the dosa. We do have an episode on tamarind rice and its tangy history, so do remember to check it out. The dosa for Asha Lata must be crisp, wafer thin, if not paper thin, and should almost melt in your mouth after a couple of chews. Here's how she achieves said consistency, taste and texture.
I try to use iron tawa, but when you want a little bit of crisp, then you use the non-stick so that you use less of oil. I do indulge in oil when I make dosas because that makes the taste. About 5-6 hours I soak my urad dal and rice. There is 3 cups of idli rice. I make purely with idli rice only. 1 cup of whole black gram dal. I do have a wet grinder, so I grind in that. I've grown up outside India, so my mom used to do it in the mixie only. She used to make super soft dosas and crispy dosas also. So we grind the urad dal first, let it become into a smooth batter. Rice can be little grain, not too smooth also. I soak a spoon of methi. Sometimes I put a handful of beaten rice, that is poha. It makes it soft also and then crispy also. For fermentation, sometimes when I grind it in the night, I leave it overnight. But about 3-4 hours is okay because in hot weather you don't want it to be sour. So you leave it not too long. In at least hot weathers like Chennai, weather is very hot, so it's okay to leave it for 3 hours.
So what makes the dosa a dosa? Its name? Well, it's dosai in Tamil, dosha in Telugu and Malayalam, dose in Kannada, and of course, dosa in all other languages. The dosa by any other name is still an intrinsically Tamil recipe. The word dosaka in Sanskrit is actually derived from the Tamil word tosai, which finds mention in Sangam literature from earlier than the 1st century. It has been written about across the ages, recipes hinted at and eulogized in poems, although not nearly as much as the pongal, and we do have an episode on that as well. There are a lot of recipes that involve batter being shaped into a thin or plump disc and fried over a pan. You have the appam, for example, or the adai, which is thick, yellow-brown and is eaten with avial, a thick coconut milk-based vegetable stew. What makes the dosa a dosa as we know it today is the rice and lentil-based batter and the overnight fermentation. Among the ancient Tamils, the dosa was a purely rice-based dish, in which the batter is shallow fried in a pan. A recipe that resembles this 2000-year-old dish is the Ilan dosai. It is pure white, silken soft in texture, and as thin as a silk handkerchief. It's extremely hard to master, even for expert cooks.
எங்கள் அம்மா பிரமாதமாக பண்ண ஒரு விஷயம் இன்னைக்கு வரைக்கும் எனக்கு கரெக்டாக வரல இளம் தோசை.
Something my mother excelled in, which I'm yet to get right, is ilan dosai. Using watery dosa batter, you make a perfect round that's hard to get even with a compass. Close the lid and then remove from flame within 10 or 20 seconds. Even if you stack 30 or 40 of these ilan dosais, it will be thinner than an inch. Even removing one from the stack without tearing takes finesse. After all these years, I still don't want to accept defeat.
Revati Achi is the Julia child of Tamil cuisine and has been cooking for the camera for over 3 decades. The story of the dosai is a beautiful metaphor for how recipes tend to get refined over time. From a rough and tumble experiment to an ubiquitous pour, heat and eat recipe to finer flourishes to more complicated processing. The Ilan dosai as a recipe is simple and is basically thin, salted rice batter. But over time, it grew whiter, thinner, silkier and demanded more expertise. The recipe and the ingredients too underwent additions and changes. Let's head to 12th century Karnataka, where King Someshwara III composed the Manasol Lasa. A compendium of all things that delight the mind. Food, of course, was given prime prominence. In it, he describes the dosaka, the Sanskritized version of the Tamil dosai, and gives out what was then a popular recipe. Batter made from urad dal, chickpea and green pea was fried in clarified butter, ghee for Indians, over a hot tawa. The ingredients in the modern dosa are different, but this type of dish is still in vogue in Karnataka and Andhra. The Andhras have somehow retained the ancient recipe of frying in a broken pot. In fact, their version of the dosa, called the attu, is derived from the attika, which means a broken mud pot. The Telugus even have a festival, Atladaddi, in honor of this recipe. The dosas existed parallelly in Telugu homes with the atlu. This we know from poet Srinatha's verses from the 15th century. He calls the dosas dosiyalu and also mentions the atlu separately. The crispy, fried, rice and urad dal based dosa that the world loves today was popularized by the Udupi restaurants that began in Mysuru and then traveled to Delhi in the 1930s. And then there was no looking back. Ratna Cafe in Chennai in 1948, modern restaurant in Madurai in the early 50s, and of course, the impossibly swift rise of Saravana Bhavans from the 80s to the 90s have all made the dosa global. each of these chains have brought in a little something to their version of the dosas. The masala, a spicy mashed potato mix introduced by Udupi. The unlimited sambar combination that remains Ratna Cafe's USP. And the classy interiors and high-quality ingredients that once took Saravana Bhavan to heady heights. But you know, the dosas that are made in Tamil homes aren't crisp and brown. They're soft, thick and far from crispy. This is the version that is popular at roadside dosa stalls and at homes. In that sense, it is similar to the atlu of the Telugus.
The primary difference between a dosa and attu is the ingredients will be the same. However, it is in the process of making. Dosa will be very crispy and thin and attu will be little thick. And attu size also varies from dosa. Dosa will be a big one, big round flat shaped one. And attus we will generally pour in a small size. Hey, this is Padma Meenakshi and I work as a journalist with BBC.
We go way back and are generational acquaintances and family friends.
I know Vikram since his early childhood and I still remember his wedding in Madurai. So I have got a chance to visit Meenakshi temple on the pretext of attending his wedding.
She is a journalist by profession, but a compendium of Telugu culture, history and aesthetics by nature.
At our place, dosas are regular thing and attus we used to make only during Atlataddi. Atlataddi is a women-only festival where women of the home, even the little kids, girls and their neighbors, relatives and even friends will be invited to participate in the festival, and in the evening the festival will be celebrated. Men of the home do not have any role to play in this festival. My recipe for attu is 1 portion of urad dal, 2 portions of rice. Soak it well overnight and then the next day morning grind it, and you have to keep the batter for 4 to 5 hours outside of the fridge, and then the batter will be ready to pour attul and they will be delicious. The best combination for attus with any chutney, coconut chutney, tomato, coriander or the least, ginger chutney.
That brings our episode to a spicy end. Do remember to drink lots of water a few minutes after you gorge on any variety of dosa. It'll do you good. You could also wash it down with some filter coffee. That's my go-to for everything. And I do have an episode on that as well. Do check out more recipes and episodes and content on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify and JioSaavn. And as always, thank you for listening.